And I am very excited to be here this morning and to be able to talk with all of you. I definitely wish we were in person, and it's easier to interact with when we're all in a room than when I'm sort of looking at myself on the screen in front of me. I am. This is day 5 of me working closely with you all for the Port of Columbia County. It's a privilege to be associated with the port, and I have, in a past life, I worked with the state of Oregon and worked closely with Columbia County in helping to coordinate state resources for economic development and other activities, and to work as sort of an ombudsman and a problem solver. So in this function, I really got to know the county and many of you and others, and developed a real love for the county. I'm working for the port, and I just wanted to take a second and talk a little bit about the port and its mission. I know many of you are very well aware of that. The port is a special district that covers 50 miles along the river, and its mission is very unique in Oregon, and that's to help promote an economic development. And in Oregon, ports are used for that function, and the county, I think, is really fortunate to have such a large port, and that has the opportunity to bring a lot of benefits. The mission of the port, is unique, and I just singled out a couple of things that are important in my mind in their mission statement. And the first one is to foster local opportunities to create sustainable jobs, and then to diversify the economy. And us meeting together like we are today, people have always talked about Columbia County sort of being a bedroom community. Well, the way we're all meeting this morning here, we're sort of a bedroom community, so to speak. I was watching the other day a Western movie with my kids, and the movie portrayed sort of the gunslinger out there on the street, the solitary dude out there, fighting off the bad guys, and we have this sort of myth a little bit in American history and in our culture, that's the way it sort of is. And I have some family members that have written a lot about the early settlers of Oregon and other places, and the reality of the way our communities and the country developed are really different. And what really made things work is when communities got together and people got together and they sort of sacrificed their own self-interest for the interest of the community. It wasn't just, hey, I'm in this for myself and I'm here to, see what I can get. And I think that's where we are right now in the county. And I'm so excited to meet with the chamber, and I look at all that we represent, the diversity that is here among us and our lives and our work. And this is what it's all about. I think this is what we're going to have and need going forward, is this ability for us to sort of pull together as a community, almost, to the days of, when they had barn raisings and, things like that. How do we help each other through this? And so I view my role is as sort of a cheerleader in this effort and a connector, to be able to connect businesses to resources, to problem solve and troubleshoot and provide information and help connect us. My background is in economic development and in, working as sort of an ombudsman, as I mentioned, in government, but also I have a background as a banker and as a manager, working with businesses, sort of helping them be successful. So I want to be able to work closely with each of you and others in solving problems. Am I the guy that, you know, you bring your stuff to and I'm going to fill out the forms? No, that might be a little bit scary, but you know, that's you've got to do. I'm joking. My wife says that. But what I'm here to do is answer questions and help connect resources. So I have some questions for all of you. I want to be able to know from you, you know, what resources you have that I can help connect people to. We need, right, what I've determined immediately is there are a lot of people not knowing how to make applications for the payment protection loans that are forgivable. Right now we have those two main programs from the federal government, the EIDL loan and the Paycheck Protection, and we've read and heard about all that money going away, but a lot of that has come back. There are also now provisions for, you know, small businesses and mechanisms put in place so the, you know, the big restaurant chains and all this stuff doesn't get all the money. Yesterday, the Oregon Emergency Board at the legislature met, and they put aside money that will be matched to be 10 million or so, designed for businesses that don't qualify or unable to get some of that federal money. So there's going to be these resources out there that I want to be able to help you all have access to. But I think that's all I'm going to say for right now, because the most important thing I'm here for is to, one, express the port's commitment to being a partner in helping the businesses in this county, to work closely with the county, with CCET, you know, with our buy local movement, and to you know, to be a partner in all of this that is essential for the port and their mission. But I also would like to hear from you guys this morning of what do you see out there, what needs are there, your comments too. So as that, I think I'll just sort of stand down and go back, Andrew, to you and see if we can maybe moderate some questions or comments that way.
Yeah, so let me look here. I'd say let's open up to kind of a Q&A. It looks like Brady had a question for you. So Brady, hop on, ask, and just kind of go from there.
So do you know if there are still any forgivable small business loans available? And do you know anything about the status of any unemployment insurance payments, especially for those people that were self-employed, you know, that were newly employed, and where that's at?
Hi, Brady. Good to hear your voice. The forgivable loan, it was basically, in my mind, the payment protection program. You know, that ran out of money real quickly, but the legislation passed yesterday on the federal level, probably signed into law today, replenishes that. So that money should be there for those that have applications in the pipeline, especially. That's one concern that I'd like to talk to you all about. I've been hearing from people who sort of have an application in, working with their financial institution. Is it in, is it not? Do I have it done correctly? These are questions we have to answer and you know, help find solutions to, and be able to connect people to the lenders that can help them. The unemployment insurance, that's a really good question, because self-employed people, I think, are now part of that mix due to the, you know, they can apply because of the federal legislation. The state system, from everything I see, is frankly, between you and me, a disaster. You know, the state hasn't upgraded their computers for years in that department, and but I think they've got it to where you know, you can qualify. They will pay the waiting week. that needs to, you need to, all of you, be on that. There's a page, the website gives good answers now. I think they're getting up to speed on, how to apply and the qualifications and stuff. So Brady, yeah, that's really important.
May I input on the unemployment? I did speak with them this week.
Oh, good.
So for any self-employed people who are currently out of work, they are trying to get things in place so that we can qualify. The legislation is there, but like Mark said, Oregon's system is incredibly behind and will take literally thousands of man hours in order to get updated. They're incredibly backlogged, not only with the already qualifying people, but now with the thousands of Oregonians who are self-employed and who are out of work. Their recommendation is that you go online, use their system, apply, put your information in. They have an entire COVID-19 page that will walk you through what you need and fill it in. However, that still might not get you anywhere even after weeks of applying, which is what the majority of people are getting into. They just don't have the ability to get to all those applications, and since they're not automatically going through, each one has to be looked at individually and worked with. Their call systems are flooded with people calling literally thousands of times a day in order to get through. However, the way they have their system set up, you have to speak with them directly in order to get a self-employed application pushed through if you qualify. So for that purpose, our local employment services are able to take calls and speak with you directly, and they are now given back some of their power where they can work with you a little bit to try to get your applications pushed through. They can also use their private emails and their private telephones to contact other people in the state's unemployment department to try to help get things pushed through. I know that's not a big jump forward, but it is a little bit, and it can help some people, just not as quickly as I'm sure everybody would like, considering that we're all sitting around waiting without income. That being said, if you do end up qualifying, they will back pay from the first week that you applied.
Yeah, thank you for that really updated information. Yeah, that was the latest I'd heard, is that get the application in so you can start the clock ticking. And I was on the COVA page yesterday, and it's got all the answers there. It's up to date.
My question was simply, with the new funding that's been out there, we've had 2 different funding from the federal level, but how many businesses actually in Columbia County are we aware of that has actually benefited from any of that right now? Anybody have any idea?
So inroads have been processed on the first time around of the funds. It started processing SBA PPP loans, and we funded quite a bit of loans. I will share the information with the chamber so they can communicate it with you guys. I don't have the exact number of PPP loans that we booked, but there were many businesses, local businesses, that benefit from it. And we are still sending applications to our members with details, instructions, and samples of what documentation they need to process once the SBA start accepting new applications for the PPP loans. At this time, Inroads Credit Union is only processing this type of loans for existing business accounts. So we are not processing applications for non-members, but we're still working. So if you are interested in getting an application to start the process, just go to Inroads Credit Union COVID-19. There is information on how to help with personal loans and escape payments and the PPP loan as well.
Now, Susanna, what if a business owner is an Inroads member privately, but not through their business? Are they able to get assistance with you guys?
So assistance on processing the SBA loan or other assistance? Okay, we do offer assistance, but for the SBA loan, All depends on how long you've been a member and what type of business do you have. That will be an exception that is made, and you will have to establish a business account. We have so many already established business accounts that are trying to get this loan process that at this time we're only processing existing members. Yeah, but you can always reach out to us and we'll see if we can work something out if you are an existing member with your personal accounts.
I would be interested in knowing who else has had experience, what experiences they've had with their financial institutions.
Yes, I am an IC as a franchise owner, and it's been a mystery in the travel advisor community as to which directions to go with the different programs, with what an IC or franchise owner qualifies for. Anyone's suggestions on who to talk to or what path to follow?
I think as you qualify under as a self-employed person, and I think the documents you need either are Schedule C on your tax returns or the 1099 MISC form is what they're accepting on that. But we could talk offline on that, you and I, or anyone else if they've got suggestions. We're happy to like to hear your experience.
I was just going to say, you know, I've had a lot of clients apply, and we've helped a little bit in that process with lots of different financial institutions. And the ones that I've noticed go through seem to be ones with, and everybody can see this from the news stories too, but I mean, I think it's ones that have really strong relationships with the provider. And I mean, even one of them, you know, I mean, it's like two of the people know the CFO really well kind of deal. So I think utilizing the strongest relationships, as long as, you know, your institution is on board and actually, you know, can, you know, if you have loans to pay with them, they're more likely to push you through, as I think what it seems like. And then, you know, I don't know how much the funds that are been reallocated now, you know, how far that's actually going to get to, but I'm still encouraging everyone to get in the pipeline so that they're there and available. So.